Samsung has patented a movable camera system with an adaptive aperture, 3 cameras, 6 aperture values, and 1 movable camera system.
Yeah, so they have this cool little animation here that kind of shows how the moving parts would work.
Whoa.
That is funky, eh?
What's
happening here?
Yeah, explain it to me, Will.
I think, well, I don't really know, actually. It's...
Well,
it's
I hit you with the Uno reverse card there. Yeah. You were totally unprepared for me to be like, "Wow, cool. What is it?"
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can guess as well as you can that somehow as that unit shifts, as the lens shifts, somehow the aperture value will change. But range, yeah. Like normally, you have an aperture ring on a lens, and well, on a manual lens. Otherwise, you control aperture in camera on a lot of our equipment. But you can control aperture through a physical ring, which will shut down the blades. We'll close the blades or open the blades to create a larger or smaller aperture. This is a totally different. I mean, you have a cog and a track, and you have 3 movable cameras by the looks of it with an adaptive field of view. So is it moving along the sensor? Samsung Electromechanics Division is responsible for the patent, filing back in October. It's merely a patent, of course, as it says. They've done a moving camera previously. The Galaxy A80 packed a flippy camera system. Well, that's nowhere near as complex as this thing happens to be.
Yeah, it seems like it's running on a track. And then they're all connected together.
And that piece has to poke up in the front. Are they, go back up to the top? Okay, here we go. Each camera sensor has 2 openings, and each of these openings has a different aperture. So it's moving. Each camera sensor has 2 openings. Each of these openings has a different aperture. So it's moving across the sensor. That's why it's moving up and down. Huh. When the cameras are in their triangular formation, each would be set to their lowest aperture. As the cameras have 2 final locations, this suggests that only 2 aperture values per camera would be available. So 2 different spots on the track. Wow. Well, I mean, I can tell you what the advantage of having 2 apertures would be, obviously, is that in some circumstances, you can have a large aperture and create that blurred background and that really subject-centric kind of bokeh effect. And then you may want to shoot a landscape or something at a much smaller aperture in order to have everything in focus, something along these lines. There could be some advantage to that.
And obviously, this is just a patent.
Just a patent. You know? It's just an artistic thing too. I mean, I don't picture this happening anytime soon, but it is.
Yeah, but cool, just the moving parts makes me nervous, like with the cog and everything.
I mean, that's a quotable. Moving parts makes me nervous, in quotes. That's what they do, and that's a lot of people feel that way. Poppy slidey cameras for a while now. Moving parts makes me nervous.
There you go.